G'day, welcome to Saltfix. Today I'm going to do a bit of a change of drag washers, update my Daiwa frames. I've had it for 5 years now. It's caught many a snapper, probably in excess of 100 snapper. It's still running the old felt washers in there. I've noticed lately they're getting a little bit sticky and the drag's getting a bit rough. So I'm going to change them over for some new carbontex washers. So I just thought I'd show you how you go about that. Pretty simple job. Pretty much all you need is a little screwdriver, and yeah, that's about it. So you start off with pretty much just pulling the spool off of here. Pretty simple. Should be simple. So the spool comes off, nice and gentle there. So inside the spool there is just that this little ring here. Just make sure you don't load it too much and it flicks across the floor and disappears. So a bit of good advice there, make sure it doesn't flick across the floor and you lose it like I just did then. Okay, so I'll just put that aside. So yeah, just gently prising out this little brass cup there. Okay, now if you have a look in here, we'll see that these felt washers are here. I wash my reel every time with fresh water. They're supposed to be pretty waterproof, but eventually the water gets in. These felt washers start to get a bit soft, they start to expand a bit with the water, and they just, after a while, they just get a bit worn. So it's good just to pull them out. I'm just going to put them to one side, I don't really need them now. So they come in, it's pretty much a felt washer, a metal washer, a felt washer, and a metal washer. So there's another one. You can see there's a bit of a salt build up there. Salty water, probably not helping the drag with the smoothness at all. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of a clean up. I've just got some bit of metho here, just a bit of a light clean up with some metho. I'll just dip some of this rag here. A bit of a light clean up of the metal drag washers. Put them aside to dry out a little bit. And then a little bit of a wipe on the inside of the spool, being really careful not to get any metho on your line. You really don't want to, I don't know how metho affects braid, but I don't want to find out, so it's best just to keep them apart if you can. So just wipe out any excess gunk or salt or any grease or whatever's in there. Make sure it's all nice and clean inside. That looks pretty good. Beautiful. Okay, so assembly is pretty much as simple as it was to pull apart. Pull out my new carbontex washers. If you have a close look at these compared to the old felt washers, you can really see the difference there. These ones are a lot hardier. They deal with a bit of moisture a lot better. Much smoother drag, much less inertia to get the drag going, and just a much heavier duty drag washer. Probably well deserved for this reel. It's worked hard over its time, so probably should have done this a long time ago. So first of all, I'm just going to put a little tiny smear of grease, not a huge amount of grease, it's just inox real grease, just a tiny little smear in there. Oh, it didn't even go in there, I'll just smear it on here instead. Probably not much more than that. You don't really want to get carried away. Washers aren't really supposed to run on grease. So I'll smear one. So there's one carbontex washer. Smear grease on the metal. Then the metal washer. Then another carbontex. Then your last metal washer.
My metaphysics, let me be perfectly frank, are that there is the central
and then the last carbontex.
And it's all of us.
Finish it off with the brass cap.
All the parts, all beings whatsoever, everywhere.
And then try to get this spring back in without it flicking across the boat again, if possible. Okay, so while I got the spool off, I'll just take the opportunity to give it a bit of a squirt trusty old CRC, pretty much just in your pivot points there, bit on the bowl roller there, and the little handle squirts. Give it a bit of a spin around. Polish it up, clean it up with a rag a bit, because again, you probably don't want the inox coming into contact with your braid. That's probably not going to do it any favours. Yep, nice and smooth. The good thing about these Daiwas is this this mag seal system they've got here. I've never put any oil or grease inside of this reel since I've had it. Like I said, I've had it for 5 years. The mag seal that they've got in there seems to keep the grease and everything intact inside and keeps the water out, which is a real bonus. So pretty simple, just install the spool back on there. You might have to jiggle it around a bit just to get those drag washers to sit back in there where they're meant to. There it goes, sits in there tight. Screw the drag cap back on. Bang, and there you go. So now it should all be nice and smooth. So we'll give it a shot next time we go out and see if it's smoother. Okay, so there you go. Simple as that really, didn't take long. Brand new drag washers in there, so that should be nice and smooth next time we use it. A bit of oil on all your pivot points, should keep them running and hopefully be good for another 5 years. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.